as a professional speaker, trainer, consultant, and author, I travel around the country, and I have the privilege of being able to work with organizations just like this one in talking about employee engagement and the responsibility that we have to enhance engagement. All of my work is based around a study that was done by the Gallup Organization that takes a look at the engagement challenge and identifies that there are three types of employees in any organization. At the top of the organization, we have 29% of employees who are engaged. 29% who are productive, loyal, enthusiastic, energetic. They want to be wherever it is they work. In fact, they're the type of employee that wakes up on Monday morning and says, "Thank God it's Monday." I mean, they just love doing what they do for a living. They just can't wait to get to work and do whatever it is that they have chosen to do for a living. In the middle, we have this 54%. This 54% that is disengaged. 54% that just shows up to work every day. They do the bare minimum to get by, they collect a paycheck, and they go home. There's nothing wrong with them, they just don't get the bigger vision. They don't understand how what they do every day ties in to a bigger vision. Many things may have gotten them there. Maybe they accepted a job that maybe wasn't exactly what they needed to do for a living or really desired to do for a living. Maybe there were broken promises along the way. Maybe there were personal issues in their life that kept them from really being thoroughly engaged. Don't really know how they got there, but the reality is 54% of employees in any organization just drag themselves to work. They do the bare minimum to get by. They collect a paycheck, and they go home. And at the very end of the spectrum, we have this 17% that are actively disengaged. Apparently, just being disengaged isn't good enough. No, these people are actively disengaged. They're walking up and down the halls recruiting new members. They're standing out in the parking lot having pity parties, gathering people around to talk about how bad things are, to talk about how good things used to be. Remember how good it used to be before we became one? Do you remember how good it used to be before we went through so many changes? Do you remember how good it used to be before we had this recession? Remember how good it used to be before we got a different boss? Remember how good it used to be before we got this new procedure? Whatever it may be, their life is all about looking back at a time in the past, which, by the way, when they were there, they were complaining there as well. But now they're looking back going, remember how good it used to be? And it's not enough just for them to be miserable on their own. No, they have to recruit new members. No, in fact, that saying that misery loves company apparently is true. Because they want to gather as many people around as they can to share in their misery.